I have watched Dhurandhar 2 and I enjoyed the movie so much. I loved so many aspects in the movie. But also, I have a huge problem, not a small problem with the movie. I have a huge problem with the movie. On top of it, I have a even bigger problem with the critics of Indian movies, especially with the critics of Dhurandhar 2. There are so many people actually who are criticizing this movie and calling it as a propaganda movie and all that stuff. In fact, this movie is definitely not a propaganda movie. The movie is only talking about India and Pakistan, and this movie might have encouraged hatred towards Pakistan, and that's absolutely fine given what Pakistan have done with India from the past 70, 80 years after the independence. These people have never criticized Hollywood for calling Soviet Union as a evil shitty country or calling communists as evil in majority of the Hollywood movies almost from past 50, 60 years or more than that. These people admire Hollywood for the same and criticize Durandar too. But the problem for me with these people is they have not criticized the real thing that is actually a problem. This movie is actually confusing a lot of audience, including a lot of people who are educated, well aware of reality. People who, like my friends, my colleagues who are working for corporate, are thinking this movie is based on real story. Like they are thinking this is also like Kerala Story 1, Kerala Story 2, or Kashmir Files Article 375, or whatever. But this is a fictional story. Durandar 2 is a totally fictional story using multiple real characters, multiple real incidents like Mumbai attacks, Ajit Doval, and other things. They have used multiple real things, but to tell the fictional story, movie makers have not taken the responsibility to make sure that the audience know that this is a fictional story. You see, when people think Kashmir Files and Durandar 2 are same kind of movies, that's not good for the nation. You need to understand what is based on reality and what is based on fiction. There are so many instances which were used in this movie which are true, so obviously you cannot blame audience as well why they would think this is a real story. I think the critics should have taken more responsibility, or the filmmakers should have taken more responsibility to tell the people that this is fictional story. It is really sad to see majority of the audience are thinking either this is propaganda, which is not, or they are thinking this is real story, which is also not true. There need to be someone from critics who have to take responsibility and tell the people that this is not a real story, and also the filmmakers should also come forward and acknowledge the same so that audience have an understanding this is fictional story.